morning, folks. We are here at the FerumPanthers.com Coaches Show. Our guest today, Dave Harper, our head football coach, and Chris Hand, one of our linebackers. Fellas, congratulations last weekend. You had a great game.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about what it felt like to get the first win of the season and the tempo of the team after the game.
You want to start?
Go ahead, Chris.
I'll start. Felt great, honestly. It was long overdue. We've been working real hard. We prepared for this game, same as any other one, but there was a lot more intensity during the week of practice. So we felt good going into it.
Did the homecoming crowd, it was Centennial Weekend here at Ferrum College. We had homecoming, Hall of Fame, family weekend. Did that factor into it for you guys, having such a large crowd? Probably the biggest crowd you played in a couple of years now, right, Chris?
Yeah, definitely. The atmosphere was amazing. It definitely impacted my game a lot.
Yeah. It looked Coach Harper like the team really kind of played up. The defense played amazingly, and it seemed like offense was able to put the ball in the end zone. The defense had some key third downs. I can tell they were pretty pumped coming off the field.
Well, yeah, I think, and we talked about it all week, it was probably the biggest alumni event besides the 50-year reunion of the football part, right, to watch a game, so our players understood the importance of homecoming, the centennial, all that stuff, and it was really nice to see the defense get the final play of the game, right, to kind of cap the game off, because obviously we've been struggling on there, and our defensive staff and our players has definitely been focused all year. They just finally get into a rhythm, and we simplify some things. We're not as hopefully as complex as we were earlier in the year, and kind of got back to some basic stuff and make sure our run fits are a little bit better. And it was just exciting, gosh, sure. But I think it's important. It was the centennial, and homecoming. That I won't see it again. Yeah. I know, Chris. No one else will.
None of us will see it again and everything.
So it was nice to put a W up in that column for sure.
Yeah, the fans I think responded well to it as well. I kept looking out. I was trying to get a head count of the crowd, and every time I looked out, it looked like the crowd was getting bigger. The parking lot crowd was getting a little bit smaller, which was good. They were starting to come into the game. I think they were seeing, hey, we got a great game going. Let's get in here. And the middle section was all those national championship teams. That had to be exciting for you, Dave, to see all those alumni back, and they raised the flags for the national championship teams.
I don't know if it was exciting much as it was humbling. It was just seeing all those people back and the stories that you hear, and now with Coach Norton, you put a face with some of the stories, sure. It was just awesome just to listen to those guys talk about their experience here, and back then the rock pile and all the travel, and it was just it's history, and I'm a history guy, and then I guess part of my role now as the head coach is to make sure our players understand where Ferrum started at, and
sure.
and where we're at today.
Right.
It's two totally different places.
Chris, when you hear about the former days and everything, what kind of appreciation does it give you and the athletes about being here to carry on the tradition and everything?
I didn't really think about it as much as I do now. Just seeing the guys, seeing the alumni and everything, talking to a few of them, it means a lot to them, and it's carrying over, and I'm starting to understand why. Just being here for 4 years, just 4 years, and they've been here for a while.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just coming from the same program, it's a tremendous feeling.
Yeah.
Just getting on the field, being able to wear the same helmet.
It's neat listening to the stories and starting to think that, wow, these guys were here and they developed some great relationships with the coaching staff, with athletic staff members and everything, faculty over the years, and in a few years, well, next year officially, you'll be one of those guys coming back and being in the stands and and saying, Coach Harper's got to do this, Coach Harper's got to do that.
It's close.
Yeah, it is. It seemed like the other day, he was in camp. We had him in camp 1 year when he was, in the high school. And it seemed like just the other day we were behind Chapman and we were talking about our recruit coming in the fall, sure. And everything. It's just until you truly experience it, players have no idea how quick it goes.
Right.
And we know that. But it's just hard that it's when you blink, it's over.
Yeah. 4 years goes pretty quick, and you're making the most of it, Chris. You're having a good season here and everything, and and I can tell it's been a pretty good experience for you. Most of the seniors I've talked to have really enjoyed their experience, and probably not looking forward anytime soon for it to being over, but I think it's just a great experience to be a college athlete, and Dave and I were both college athletes, and he's right, it goes over fast, but I'll tell you right now, it really gives you a fondness and a connection for your alma mater, for your school. No doubt about that. So, Dave, let's talk a little bit about next week. You're in an off week today, or this weekend. You've got Averitt coming into town next week, and it'll be a smaller crowd because it's fall break and everything. What type of things are we doing to help with that?
We're having the Franklin County Appreciation Day. Trying to get some folks here, and I had addressed the team about this. This week we've kind of worked on ourselves, back to basic fundamentals, and just got back to some things that I felt that we needed tackling, and offensively just, the game is still blocking and tackling.
Sure.
And so we got back to some of that. We're slowly putting in our game plan. But Sunday night I'll talk to the team about the opposite atmosphere now.
Sure.
We're coming from one extreme to the other.
Right.
And I always said this is for us at Ferrum, it doesn't matter if you play in front of 5,000 or 5. You just line up and play, and that's our responsibility as players and coaches and our football team, and they got to understand that it's going to be a totally different atmosphere.
Sure.
But it's still a conference game. It's one of our closest opponents is Averitt. They're right down in our backyard.
Danville.
And for us, obviously, if it's a conference game as coaches, it's a recruiting tool. Because
Sure.
of our record against them in previous years, and obviously we recruit against each other, for the same players, and it's always nice to say, we've been successful.
Sure. And this is a series you've dominated against them. They've only had like maybe one win, I think.
I don't know. I know one thing. We focus on this week, and
Sure.
and I think with young people nowadays, and even with us as coaches, we try to each year is different. Each week you're going to approach it differently than you did a year ago. It's a different team. Coaches have a different mindset. So the past is the past, and there's nothing we can do or can control it. What we can control is each and every day. So hopefully our players understand that. And then, like I said, on Sunday when we come back, we got 2 days off. This will be our last practice today, and then we give them Friday and Saturday off. And our coaches hadn't had a day off since August 1st. So we all know that. And
They're going to get a break too.
yeah, we'll get a break on Friday. We'll Friday, then we'll come back and watch some games. Methodist plays Averitt, so I'll be, you can't scout them, but now you can scout them because you can see everything's video.
Right.
So I'll be sitting at the house watching that. That's for sure.
Right. And Methodist just had a big win last week, beat Christopher Newport.
Yes.
2 years in a row, is that right?
2 years. And I said this last year to our staff at the end of the year. I thought Methodist was the most talented team we played. Last year.
And we beat them last year, didn't we?
We did. It was a great football game. Outstanding football game at their place.
Right.
This year we don't play them, which I hated. I tried to contact those, Coach Evans when he was the head coach there, is try to contact them and play and drop one of our non-conference games. But they had an ODAC opponent, so did we, and we couldn't put 2 ODACs back together to play.
Sure, yeah.
It just didn't work out.
That ruffles some feathers.
Yeah, I think, I still don't think it's right that the whole conference is not playing each other.
Sure. But it was a 1-year deal, right?
It's just 1 year,
Yeah.
But if you look at the grand scheme of things, you could talk about a 3-4-way tie.
And then what does it come down to, a coin
Well,
toss?
what we've decided on was the highest ranking in the region.
Interesting.
So, with Huntington losing and CMU losing, and I don't know, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Right now I think the team that looks like they're playing the best football is Maryville. They're right now they're giving up 8-9 points a game defensively. They had a shutout. They would, shutting people out nowadays is extremely hard.
Oh yeah.
And they're putting up points offensively. So right now I would have to give the conference right now overall to Maryville.
And we played
we played them.
At home, right?
No, we're on the road.
On the road, okay.
And that's a fun atmosphere down there.
Oh yeah. I've heard about the atmosphere down at the Maryville football game.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yes, I would too.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're so glad to have you guys come on the show. Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, you got family at home and everything.
Well, I'm located in Yorktown, Virginia right now. I have a younger sister who just went to VCU. She's a freshman.
Okay.
With my mom and dad. Came to Ferrum to play football. I mean, got recruited.
What are you studying here?
Computer information systems with a
Okay.
minor in business.
Great major right there, and a great situation. You'll set yourself up for some good work after school. I don't think computers are going away anytime soon.
That was my idea when I picked the major. I was pretty sure that was going to stay around, hopefully.
Well, 5 or 10 years, you'll get back to the Panther Club. You know?
Eventually.
I mean, Chris, you're talking about a young man with character and class at everything he does. You know, I mean, an outstanding student, great team leader, just a person of high character, you know, and that's been since day one. You know, and I've said this about Chris to his parents, and you know, if I had a daughter, I'd be proud to have Chris date, you know, without a doubt. We're going to miss his leadership because I think he's one of the reasons we played well Saturday, because he kept the defense focused and tight. And,
Sure.
you know, we had a young freshman linebacker playing right beside him,
Sure.
you know, and he's really done a great job of keeping that defense focused and working hard in practice.
Well, you had a great game too. Up in the press box, I just kept on hearing Chris Hammond on the stop, Chris Hammond on the tackle. Had yourself, what was it, 9 tackles, including 7 solos. So you're obviously all over the place there.
Yeah, I felt good Saturday. I couldn't have done it without the guys. I mean, just playing around those guys, we just look at each other. It's not even words anymore. We just feel it now.
It was a great field, both offensively and defensively on Saturday. Watching it from up in the press box, it looked like you guys were just in sync and playing well together and everything. So we're really excited about seeing that. Excited about seeing 5 more games of leadership, maybe more this year from you. So
Hoping for more.
yeah.
Definitely.
Chris, you want to close out with give a shout out to any of your parents, family members, or anything?
Yeah, definitely love to shout out my parents, because without them I wouldn't be here. Definitely my coaching staff. I've never had a coaching staff like it. Not in high school, not in middle school. It's crazy how close you get to everybody here.
Sure.
My teammates never had a team like it. I'm gonna miss it. I'm definitely gonna miss it.
You'll be part of that alumni nation next year and everything. I mean, we'll get you back on the show one day as an alumni, as a Black Hat. So, well, listen, fellas, I really appreciate you coming on the show today. Have a great off week this week, and we'll see you back out on the field next week. And next week, our host, Dave Newcomb, will be back as our host again, and our guest is Jessica Flanagan, and she'll have one of our volleyball players. I'm Gary Holden. Thank you for listening to today's FerrumPanthers.com Coaches Show, and we'll see you next week. It never started?
I don't know.
Did that little message come up the whole time?